Hey everyone, welcome to another Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and there's a link to my Ko-fi account in the description. So if you're able to support the channel that way, it is greatly appreciated. So today we are playing some humans, back with some more humans in Bant colours. So white, green, blue. And our new card from Spider-Man or Through the Urban Paths is Druneth or Jackal. So this is a 1/1 with Trample for green-blue, and whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to its power, copy that spell, except the copy isn't legendary, then put a +1/+1 counter on it. So in a dedicated humans deck, this can, if it's left alive for any length of time, can start pretty quickly copying up the chain. So we can cast something like a Dauntless Bodyguard or a Recruitment Officer to, when it first comes down, copy it, get 2 copies, and then do one of our 2-drops, and then eventually build up to a 3-drop. Obviously, if you're copying something like Adeline, getting 2 attack triggers, or Reflector Mage, getting to bounce 2 things, then that's pretty powerful stuff. Obviously, this will be a lightning rod for removal from our opponents. So yeah, worth bearing in mind that we might want to try and use it straight away. So maybe treat it more as a kind of 3-drop with one of our 1-drops, and then get some value off it. But yeah, powerful effect if you can make it stick. We're also running Ingenious Prodigy, which is not a card I think I've used before, but is a human, which is X blue 0/1 Skulk. This creature enters with X +1/+1 counters on it, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if it has 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you can remove it, and if you do, draw a card. So it's a good source of card advantage, but it also synergizes quite nicely with Druneth, just because we can kind of, because it looks at the mana value of the card as you cast it, so we can kind of modulate the Ingenious Prodigy to get so that it triggers Druneth no matter kind of where on the scale we are. So if we've already cast a 1-drop, we can cast it for 2 mana. If we've already cast a 2-drop, 3 mana, etc., etc., and just go from there. And we don't mind necessarily just casting it as a 1-drop anyway. We get 2 copies of it with Druneth, and you can get counters on it another way, something like a Thalia's Lieutenant. So yeah, there are other ways of kind of getting the value off this card. And then, yeah, as I say later on, it draws you some cards as well. So it's a pretty good addition to the deck, and yeah, is a human as well. So yeah, entirely creature-based in our main deck. Yeah, so building up to 3 at the top of the curve. In terms of the mana base, so relatively self-explanatory. We've got a fair few number of dual lands, as you'd expect in a 3-colour deck. Cavern of Souls, Secluded Courtyard, Starting Town, giving us access to all of our various colours, these specifically when we're casting humans. Couple of Mutavaults, and then an Iganjo as well. Then the sideboard is primarily white, so yeah, a lot of the cards we can just cast using our white mana, which is good. Really just 2 splash colours going on here. So we got Seam Rip, 4 copies of that. Rest in Peace, Good Graveyard Hate, Magdi and Itla, which is a card we've used before. One of the new Spider heroes that's just quite a good prison card, just slows down the opponent. You know, if I'd had something like this when I was playing against Urabrask's Forge recently, God, it would have been a good time. But yeah, good card this. Elite Spellbinder, good hand disruption, Wedding Announcement, good grindy card that can does well against 1-for-1 removal, and then a Year-Onoski, which we have used before. That was the first humans card we used with its in web ability. Has a kind of mini Thalia effect going on for spells of a certain type. So yeah, can be pretty useful against decks which are trying to wipe the board, particularly, as a lot of those tend to be sorcery spells. But yeah, gives us a little bit of game against opponents' hand and what they've got going on. So pretty good. So I'm looking forward to this one. Should be an interesting build. I have played against something similar, and it did pretty well. So yeah, we'll see how this does. So that's the deck. Thank you very much for watching. Let's take it on to the ladder. Okay, the opponent's on Yorion. This is a pretty classic humans hand. I think perfectly keepable. Start with a Secluded Courtyard. So this could be a number of things. I tend to see a lot of kind of 5-colour decks. Yeah, that's probably what this is right now. So yeah, I think I probably want Prodigy turn 2. It's slightly better than Thalia's Lieutenant to grow the board a little bit. So yeah, they've only got 3 colours, so their Leyline Binding's not up yet. So I'll draw an extra card. Ooh, the mana is a little awkward now. So I think what I'll do is I'll play Adeline. Yep, that's fine. Attack for 2. Then we got a few options. I would ideally like to play Druneth and then immediately go into casting Thalia's Lieutenant. Okay, that'll do it. So we'll stick that on humans. Druneth. Let's double our Thalia. Oh no, we can't. Why did I think I could do that? Need to play a 1-drop first. Okay. We just got Druneth on the battlefield. That's fine. Okay. So they're going to gain a couple of life here. I'll discard Starting Town. That's not a massive deal. I'll draw an extra card. Yeah, that's a pretty disappointing turn. So the opponent's building up to being able to do some quite powerful stuff now, and this cornucopia is just gaining them so much life that... Okay, that's 2 life from the Scarab God. I will at least be able to bounce that. So yeah, if I bounce the Scarab God, I can then hit them for 7. That seems decent. Six, rather. 6 is fine. It's going to be a close one. Let's see what they can do with this turn. Okay, they go to 6. That is their life gain for the turn, though. Cool, okay, that was close. But we did manage to get there. So, the opponent's on Niv To Light. I think Elite Spellbinder and Uranosky are both pretty good in this matchup. I like Thalia's Lieutenant. Reflector Mage seemed decent there. Hopeful Initiate seems good. I think Dauntless Bodyguards, they probably got a bit too much exile-based removal. Try and remember how Druneth works this time. Yeah, that's fine. I'll start with Recruitment Officer. Fair enough. That's an early move from the opponent. So yeah, let's get Thalia into play. Slow them down a smidge. Okay, they've gone big on early removal, so I'm going to have a look in their hand. which is interesting. Let's make Deafening Clarion more expensive, I think. So they've got Vanishing Verse up. Let's see if I can tempt them to use... Yep. Okay, now I'll play Adeline. So Clarion crucially doesn't hit Adeline, but they are now only 2 mana away from being able to cast Tybalt. Yeah, that's not great. Do with something that isn't just land. So I would like to be able to blow up their cornucopia here, but don't quite have the +1/+1 counters to be able to do it. Okay, looks like Tybalt is coming down.
Beg. It won't help, but it amuses me. I'll be
Yeah, Reflector Mage is a bit of a nothing here. Turn on the Mutavault.
Catch me if you can.
I suppose if they play my Adeline, I can put it back in my own hand, which is fine. Yeah, that's actually not too bad for me, I don't think. I can't cast it for a bit, but... Okay, with Coppercoat, things are going not too badly here, so... I'll have that. Thank you kindly. I'll play Coppercoat Vanguard. Fire up Mutavault, hit them for 8. Now even Clarion is not brilliant. So they go to 4. So play Adeline. Hit them for 3 more. Yeah, I'm doing my best here. You're on 1. So they're going to be able to get a couple of 2/2s into play with Yorion, bouncing Fable. So they'll go to 3. That comes back. Okay, so Reflector Mage bounces one of these. I activate Mutavault. I think I've just about got lethal here. So yeah, let's... I'll bounce Yorion. Activate Mutavault. Attack. Okay, I do not have lethal here. I can hit them down to 1 again. Play Thalia. Okay, they need a board wipe now. which they have. Remarkable. Okay. What's going on here? That was only a 3. Have I won? Wow. Well, that was very back and forth. Yeah, they need to discard their Yorion there. Yeah, that was a pretty big punt by my opponent. Obviously, I'm not going to criticize it. It's kind of the sort of thing that I would do. But yeah, no, they couldn't kill my Adeline and couldn't quite get there. Yeah, they needed to discard Yorion. Again, a pretty decent humans opening hand. Not a Jackal opening hand, but never mind. Dimir, okay. So they want a recruiter of their very own, do they? Okay, well, I'm happy to pass the turn for now. So yeah, this almost certainly a deck running Kaito or something like that. Given this early Mockingbird. Yeah, so we ninjutsu it in for, yep, Moon Circuit Hacker. That makes sense. Yeah, they generate a lot of value, these decks. Okay, that's a pretty good offering for turn 3. We know the opponent can't cast anything. So let's just put a bit of pressure on their life total. Okay, Druneth once again being a bit of a nothing here, but send their Adeline back to their hand. Just not getting the right combination of cards for this right now. Cool. Okay, good game 1 there. So yeah, the opponent's on a Dimir style deck, so I think I want Seam Rip in this matchup. Uranowski, probably not. Magdi, probably not. Spellbinder, probably on the play, because that can snag a Kaito. So yeah, I think I'll just keep Seam Rip. We take out Hopeful Initiate. It's not a huge amount of targets for that. Let me do some copying. This is quite a tricky one. I think it's a keep, but these 3... I think these are all 3 of my starting towns. And I'm not happy about it. Okay, let's start with Recruitment Officer. So they've got a Fatal Push. That's fine. Yeah, Flood Pits is so-so. Okay, no Kaito is at least good news. What am I doing here? Yeah, I think I'll just play Druneth and then try and grow it with my Lieutenant. So much land. I've drawn a lot of land this video so far. Okay, at least I'm not getting Kaito'd. Yeah, I think seam ripping the Fairy Miscreant is probably worth it. Prevents ninjutsu shenanigans. Okay, I am gonna bounce that. I know they get to do the thing again, but I think it's worth it just to get my mage down. Okay. It's very dirtly, this game so far. Here we go again. Okay. Do they have a ninjutsu thing? Is that why they're doing this? Yeah, okay. Looks like they've got Kaito. Yeah, that's a good draw.
Impressed. Looks like I gotta fight my way out of this one.
That's interesting and aggressive.
Control the fight. Control the outcome.
This seam rip is pretty bad. Yeah, I can just keep doing that all day long. Yeah, I'm getting absolutely durdled to death here by one Flood Pits Drowner. You can see why this card's so good. Yep, just keep adding stun counters to all my stuff. I can't really do anything.
Never underestimate my skills.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about that one. Drew quite badly. Opponent just, yeah, did a lot of durdling. So yeah, I'll put in Spellbinder. What am I going to take out? Take out one Druneth, one Adeline. Yep. Wrecked by 1/2/1. That's pretty annoying. Oh god, this hand's terrible. What is going on with my opening hands? Now I've only got one land. Yep, okay, let's keep this one. We'll pop back Adeline and probably probably Druneth for now. Let's get rid of Seam Rip and just go maximum creatures. Yeah, well, that's not bad. So, Druneth. Play Dauntless Bodyguard. Will protect my Thalia and my Druneth. Yep, they're giving it a read. Gonna get wrecked by a single Flood Pit Drowner again. Yeah, I'll take that trade. It means I'm not getting Kaito'd next turn. Fine. And that's a nice draw. Hooray! We're finally seeing the value of Druneth. There we go. Whew. And that was on a mull to 5. That was a good recovery there, being able to copy 2 different creatures. Yeah, this will do fine. Start with a recruitment officer. Sunken Citadel makes me think it's probably mono green of some description. Mono green with a lack of lands, so Lieutenant. Right, so we'll play Druneth. Followed up with a Dauntless, which we'll use to protect Druneth and Thalia's Lieutenant. Okay, OP, this better be good. Cool. Okay, that was a pretty speedy game 1. So the opponent's on probably mono green Devotion. So Seam Rip for early Llanowar Elves I think is essential. Yira and Oski doesn't hit creatures, does it? Even so, I think Spellbinder is probably worth it. Dauntless Bodyguard I don't think we need in this matchup. I think we can go down a couple of Reflector Mages. Probably a Thalia as well. Wedding Announcement's a bit too slow. Rest in Peace, not enough targets, I don't think. Yeah, we just have to kind of try and win before they can go off. Which we're able to do on the draw there, so we will get at least one go at it on the play. Which is good. I think this is fine. I would obviously like a turn 1 Seam Rip. But Okay, they're down to 5. They do have an elf, though. So, I think I will cast Prodigy. Because it can be grown with Lieutenant. What have they got in their hand? Not much by the look of it. Okay, elf can go bye-bye. That was short. Probably some new record. Yep, that's fine. It's all fine. It's fine. Yeah, turn 2 Coppercoat, turn 3 one of these. Seems decent. Would ideally like a 3rd land, but we do have enough to be going on with in the meantime. Shredder. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I would like to be able to bounce that. Now I can. Yeah, then we potentially got Adeline or double Thalia's Lieutenant next turn, depending on what we draw. So is this Phoenix? I feel like there aren't... Where are all the spells? Right, Adeline it is. Interesting, a sort of... Prowess deck. Okay, well they're dead to Mutavault here now as well, so... Cool. God, it's going to be the shortest video on record. Okay, so it was Prowess, Teamer Prowess. So I probably want Uranovsky. I think I want Seam Rip as well. I think I need Initiate. Probably ditch. Thalia seems great here. Maybe ditch one each of these on the draw, just lower our curve a little bit. Yeah. No way of casting Reflector Mage is annoying, but I think this is still a keepable hand. Now we have a way of casting Reflector Mage. It's all good news. How dare you? The outrage. Well, you won't be able to counter this. Not that I think that's what you're trying to do anyway, but... Nothing. Okay, so they've probably got to seek the beast available to them. Oh no, they are casting Steel Cutter. But no follow-up. No. You don't leave a steel cutter lying around, no matter how tempting it is to cast Adeline instead. It's just asking for trouble. Maybe, maybe they don't even run green. Maybe they just use the questing druid for the... for the spell. It's possible, I suppose. Because, yeah, we haven't seen any green lands. I don't think we saw any in the first game either. Wow. Okay, well, maybe we'll just make it a short video, because we played 4 matches. And yeah, the deck certainly performed pretty well there. 4-0. I'm glad that Jackal / Druneth was able to show its value in at least a couple of those games. Yeah, I did a lot of good work. I've got orbs. Orbs! The house grows hungry. As do I. Because it's nearly dinner time. Okay, let's see what packs I've got to open. So, Aether Drift, everyone's favourite set. Rare Wildcard, good, good. And Through the Omen Pass, everyone's favourite set. Remarkable Readings. Insula enters... Okay, that's a card that has text on it. So yeah, a good humans deck, that. I've always thought humans is more powerful than people give it credit for in the format, and yeah, we had some fortunate draws in a couple of cases, like that Coppercoat off the top in that third. Was it the third? Yeah, I had to mull to 5. Coppercoat off the top was pretty good, but then again, I did have to mull to 5, so maybe I was owed a good top deck. Yeah, Prodigy did some work. Didn't get to see kind of its full value, but we drew a couple of cards off it, and it synergizes quite nicely with Druneth and Thalia's Lieutenant. Reflector Mage was an absolute beast, as it always is. Yeah, this is a good deck. Yeah, I'm glad to see it doing some good work. Yeah, against a wide variety of different things. So that's pretty good. So yeah, here's the deck list one more time. It's in the description as usual. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Contribute to the Coffee account if you can. It is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time.